G'day and welcome back to the House Show. Boy, it is finals time in the NRL. Everyone is excited. I'm excited. There are going to be some great games coming up across the whole final series, but especially in week one. Boy, it's a good time to be alive. It is a good time to be alive. We've got a cracker show today. Obviously, we're going to preview the 4 finals games. And then in the second half of the episode, we're going to give you our top 10 players in the finals. So out of every team that is currently in the final series, we're going to give you the 10 best players out of all of those teams. And I think it's a good list. Maybe there's some people who disagree with it. Obviously, there's more than 10 good players, world-class players. That's why they're in the finals. But we can only pick 10. I've got 10. We'll get into that a little later in the show, so stick around for that. What I want to talk about first, this is what I want to start the show off with, the Roosters. Probably, when they're in form, the most exciting team to watch. You could argue the Storm, you could argue Penrith, you could even argue the Bulldogs or the Raiders. But in my opinion, the most exciting team to watch in the NRL, when they're good, when they're in form, is the Roosters. They had a shaky start to the 2025 season. Win here, lost there, win here, lost there. And as they kept losing games every week, it was like, okay, they better start winning if they want to have a chance to win, to make the finals. And every week we kept saying, well, they better start winning. Obviously, Sam Walker was out for 2/3 of the season. And the talk was their veterans are old. The Tupos, Tedesco's. Radley, he's up and down depending on injury and form. You had Chad Townsend who'd come over and just wasn't performing, ended up getting dropped. You had Hugo Savala then come in. He's a rookie. Robert Toya, he's a rookie, even though he was really good. Still is really good. He was a rookie. You had Marky Mark come over. He's still learning the nuances and the little details of league. So he, as good as he is, he gives you an error or two every game. So there was just a lot of question marks about the Roosters in the first half of the season. But then they turned it around. And to me, I've mentioned this before about Hugo, but to me, the moment, the game in their season that kind of made the Roosters just click and start to build momentum in a positive direction was the Anzac game against the Dragons. A lot of the players had a good game. Tupou, Tedesco, Hugo Savala had a really good game. Sandon Smith was in. It was a critical moment because that's when the team finally found out who was going to lead them. Chad Townsend had been dropped, was just completely out of form. They made a decision to drop him, and that decision obviously stayed. Hugo Savala comes in with the 7 and just from the get-go plays lights out, steers the ship, manages the direction of the team because he's a true halfback, and I've talked highly about him before, and I won't try not to repeat myself too much, but Hugo Savala is a pivotal player in the turning around of the Roosters season for the second half. And then Tedesco's been in great form. Dally M favourite probably. They've had other rookies come in, especially in the forwards. Nafahu White has been playing like a gun. You lost. The other thing that probably doesn't get talked about, you didn't lose too many players to Origin. You lost Angus Crichton, Spencer Leniu, Tedesco wasn't picked, Tupou wasn't picked. You lost Toya, but there just wasn't a lot of losses over that Origin period. So they were able to continue to build momentum through that period while other teams had key players out. And another point, and this bloke's really underrated, and he doesn't get as much credit as he's earned, although he still does get credit. Billy Smith. Billy Smith has had a great season. And part of why the Roosters have been able to go on a bit of a run in the second half and stack up the wins is the consistency of Billy Smith and him actually not losing a lot of game time through injury like he has in the past. His career has been shattered with injuries. Honestly, mate, it's pretty heartbreaking when you look at the list of injuries he's had. You look at how much game time he's had to miss, but this year's been different for him. This year he's been able to stay on the park and he's providing really good quality football for them. And he's got Daniel Tupou on his outside. So when James Tedesco is sweeping around that left side, that's his natural side. So to have a key quality player in that left centre position, that's pretty paramount for a successful attacking side, and that's what Billy Smith has provided for the Roosters. So when you add up all of these things, Tedesco's in almost career-high form. Sam Walker then comes back. Hugo Savala has stepped up into that role way quicker than most rookies would. You've got Daniel Tupou still playing at a high level on the wing. Marky Mark is doing some incredible things and just putting points on the board for the Roosters when they need it. Although he's got an error or two, he's going to give you a try or two as well to balance that out. So you've got a combination of things where the Roosters just kind of found the players that were going to stick in that position. They found connections, relationships, and it all came together. And now they're in 8th position. They're going up against Cronulla on Saturday night, and they have a chance to really build a strong finals campaign. But to even play finals football, considering their start to the season, you look back on it and you just think, wow, they're one of the teams that actually put it together. They actually turned things around. They found a direction. They found momentum. And it's really exciting to watch, to be honest. So I'm really impressed with what the Roosters have done this year. I'm a Cronulla fan, so I do not want to see them beat Cronulla. But at the same time, they're an exciting team to watch with great players to watch. So if anyone's going to beat Cronulla, I'll let it be the Roosters, because watching them to see them in the second week, the third week, even potentially in the grand final would be really exciting. So well done, the Roosters. Even though you've got lots of money, you've done the hard work and you found out what type of team you are. So congratulations. What do we want to do? Do we want to preview the first games of the finals, or do we want to get into the top 10? Let's get into the top 10. Let's do it. Here it is, the official top 10 best players heading into the finals series. And we're going to do this a little bit more heading into the bigger games. We're going to talk about the 10 best in the grand final, the 10 best in the Pacific Nations, the 10 best in the Ashes series. So this is a list that's going to be commonly brought out through these big games, big series with big-time players. So get used to it, because they're sticking around. All right. The 10 best. Now, I'll preface this with a couple of things. Jerome Hughes is not in the list. Because of injuries, he's unlikely to actually play in the finals. So I left him out of the list, but that's why. At 11, I had Kyle Weeks. He just misses out. He's been in incredible form. I've talked about him before. I love watching him play. He's super duper exciting. He's fast. He's playing under a great coach with a great team right now in Canberra. So he just misses the clip, but he's at 11. Number 10, Mark Nwangani-Tawase. Like I mentioned earlier, he's got an error or two in him per game. That'll fade as he learns to be a little bit more disciplined with the football, but also learns the details of rugby league a little bit more as well. But fuck, is he exciting to watch. Every single time he has the ball, he pulls something out of his arse. he does things. Whenever you see someone just try something and the risk to reward ratio is just way in favor of the risk. You look at it, someone does something, it doesn't come off. You look at him, you go, oh, you stupid idiot. What'd you even try that for? You should have just taken the tackle. But when Mark does it, for some reason or another, it comes off. That flick pass finds another Roosters player. That kick over a defender's head, runs out of bounds, comes back in, scores the try. It just comes off. Everything he does, the flick pass, the behind the back pass, the kick, the step, everything he does, it just seems to work. Now, they're calling him Marky Mark. They might just have to call him Magic Mark because bloke's magical, does some freakish things with the ball, and I love watching it play. He's at 10. Number 9, Dylan Edwards. Been a bit down on form, but heading into finals, he's got some of the most finals experience out of everyone, basically, bar the rest of the Penrith team. So you know what you're going to get from him. He's going to stand up when his team needs him. So he's at 9. Number 8, Ryan Pappenhausen. He's coming on strong. He's had a good, solid few weeks heading into the final series. He's going to have to step up a little bit more now that Jerome's out. They've obviously got Pezza and Tyron Wishart there to steady the ship in the halves with Munster. But out the back, he's going to have the ball as much as possible. But we know what he can do. At number 7, Reece Walsh. He'll have a stinker or two, but boy, when he's on, he's involved in everything. Try assists, tries, kick meters, 40-20s, bloody you name it. He is a very good player. The toilet drinking thing, he's young. He is young. He sees a lot of stuff online. I didn't want to talk too much about it, but if I was in his corner, if I was in his ear, I'd say play the best football you can. That will silence everyone. The post-try celebrations, wasn't really a fan of them. Kind of shows still he's got a little bit of immaturity in him, but you know what? He played a really, really good game. They won. It's over now. But he's at 7. He's really good. At number 6, Sammy Walker. Another one. He's not quite as freakish as Marky Mark, but this bloke is creative as hell in the halves. He's come back from injury and he's just picked up where he left off. He has helped the Roosters be where they are. Without a doubt, some of the things he does off the cuff, it works. He's creative. He puts the ball in the right spot. He finds the right player to dish it off to. I like watching him play. I think he's a little bit underrated as well. So he's at 6 for me. Number 5, Isaiah Yeo. You got to have him in there. Injury, a little bit down on form this year, but he's had some really good moments. And like I mentioned with Edwards, he's got that finals experience. So you know what he's going to bring. He's going to co-captain the Panthers. Win or loss, they're going to perform well. Yo, you know what you get from his super solid, great leader. He's at 5. Number 4, Cameron Munster. Cameron Munster, I'm very intrigued to see how he plays in the finals. We know when it's a big game, when it's time for him to step up. We've seen this in Origin arenas. He will do it. He will step up when he needs to. He's not afraid of the big lights at all. No Hughes. It's going to be up to him and Paps. I think he can get it done. Number 3, Stephen Crichton. Far out. Best centre in the world. Without a doubt. Best centre of the world. And second is way behind. Best centre in the world. I don't even know what the Bulldogs look like and what this rebuild looks like without him at the club. He is so critical for them. His leadership, his ability on the field, him off the field, like he's so valuable to this club and to this team. He's playing incredible football. He's at 3 because I believe him and Munster are probably the most crucial because they provide their teams the most value. They can do the most with other teams like the Roosters, for example. They have so many good players. Any one of them could step up or could make a break, score a try, do this, do that. Whereas the Storm and the Bulldogs, I feel like the most valuable player at the moment to those clubs is Munster and Crichton. So Crichton, honestly, there's not enough good words in my vocabulary, in anyone's vocabulary, to really define how valuable he is to the Bulldogs. But he's at 3. He's had a great season, and I think he's in for a ripper of a final series too. At number 2, you're probably guessing now there's 2 left. You're probably going through the names in your head. Who hasn't been mentioned yet? Well, there's 2. Number 2, James Tedesco. This bloke, for 10 plus years now, has just excelled and definitely has been the best fullback we've seen since Billy Slater. Obviously, there's a little bit of an overlap there, but you talk about great fullbacks. In the modern era, you've got Billy Slater. Then you've got the next tier, maybe a Brett Stewart, Minichillo, Matty Bowen. James Tedesco is better than all those guys. So it goes Billy Slater, James Tedesco. James Tedesco has been incredible this season. A huge part of why the Roosters are where they are. He just always manages to find a line break, give it to a player who will then make a line break, find the trial line. Bloke he does it all, and he's always doing it. He's popping up everywhere. He's breaking tackles. He's so good. Probably going to win the Dally M and rightfully earned. He's at number 2. Number 1, if you probably already haven't guessed it, it's Nathan Cleary. This man owns NRL finals in the last 4 to 5 years. Who knows how the Panthers are going to go this year? It just seems to be slightly different than years gone by. But Nathan Cleary is going to be the reason if the Panthers win at all, because you see his impact. You just see it. The 2-point field goals, the normal regular 1-point field goals, the 40-20s, the conversions when they need it, setting up tries, scoring tries himself. He does it all, and he does it at the highest level. He may not win the Dally M year after year. He may not win the Golden Boot, but everyone kind of has this consensus that he is the best player in the league and has been for the last half a dozen years. No, maybe not half a dozen, but 2 to 3, 4 maybe even years. So he's at number 1, rightfully earned. I think no one can disagree with that. Nathan Cleary's at 1. That's it. That's the top 10 best players in the league. If you have any disagreements, if you think I've left someone out, let me know. We can discuss it. But that's my list. I'm sticking to it. I'm excited to see how all of these players perform. And then once we get to the grand final, we'll do another top 10 list of the best players in the grand final out of those 2 teams. So if you like lists, I like lists. If you like lists, we're going to be doing them. But that's that. I'm sticking to it. All right, let's preview the finals games coming up. You've got 4 games, and you've got the raw crackers. Friday night, the first game, first cab off the rank, Melbourne versus the Bulldogs. This one is going to be interesting because you've got injuries and suspensions on both sides. The Storm, not going to have Hughes. Nelson, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's going to miss this one and potentially future finals games as well. The Bulldogs, we're unsure what Montoya's ankle looks like. Bronson Sherry's been ruled out. I think there was someone else dealing with something. So you're going to have key players missing from both sides. So it kind of balances it out, kind of then makes it fair game again. But what a game. Qualifying final too. You don't have to win, but if you do, it sets you up real well. Melbourne have been here plenty of times before. Bulldogs have got some great players, and they've obviously got finals experience through Kickow, Crichton, Burton, even Tupanua with the Roosters, Kurt Mann with Melbourne. So there is finals experience there, but they haven't had it for the Bulldogs together at that team. So it's a tough one. I think the Bulldogs definitely didn't step up when they needed to against the Cronulla. It was a great win by Cronulla, but you know what they're capable of, but you also know what Melbourne are capable of as well. So I'm going to have to go in favour of Melbourne. It'll be a close game. I think a low-scoring game, but I think Melbourne probably win by a try. Yeah, we'll stick with that. We'll lock that in, Eddie. Melbourne by a try. Saturday Arvo, 4 o'clock. Warriors versus Penrith. I think this could probably be the closest game of them all. I'm talking 1 to 2 points. Warriors, they've got nothing to lose. Their fans are just grateful for that they're in the finals and have a chance to go all the way. Penrith, they're the ones with pressure on them. They're the ones who have won 4 straight grand finals, been to 5 straight grand finals. They're the ones with pressure on their star players to see how they perform, or is it going to be a one and done? You know, can't step up again, can't make it 5 in a row. So Penrith have got pressure on them. Warriors are going to be fighting like no get out because they got nothing to lose. It is in New Zealand as well, so that's gonna be a great game, and I think Warriors have a chance to win that one. But like I said, it's going to be very close, 1 to 2 points, but I'm going to give it to Penrith just because they've got so much finals experience. In these big, big games, they have big, big players who have been there before. So I'm going to give it to Penrith, but it's going to be close, and Warriors do have a chance to win that. Saturday night, Sharkies versus the Roosters. This could be a high-scoring game. With the Roosters' attack, Sharks got plenty of points in them too. Defense is kind of secondary to these teams too, especially if they're not on. This could be a high-scoring game. We're talking over-under maybe 60 points. Oh, I can't. I know I spoke a little bit about this game earlier, but I can't do it. I have to go with Cronulla. I have to go with Cronulla, especially with that win over Canterbury last week. That showed that they're ready for finals football. And Nico Hines has been cleared to play too, so that is critical for Cronulla. So I'm giving it to Cronulla in a high-scoring game. And then Sunday Arvo, Canberra versus the Broncos. The Broncos, they could win this, but it depends on how they want to play. If they stick to their suitable style of playing expansion football, throwing it around, taking chances, offloads, shifting it early, that type of play, that's what they're comfortable doing. But if they tighten up, if they compress their attack and just do short balls, set plays, block here, sweeping here, that's what will undo them in this game. Canberra, Ricky will have them ready. A few of these guys have got plenty of experience. Ricky has got plenty of finals experience. He knows how to coach his team up to get prepared for this game. I think I'm leaning in the way of Canberra just because I think they will make Brisbane play how they want to play. Canberra will, rather. I think the Broncos, they have a knack of, if things aren't going their way, if they've made a few mistakes early on in the game, they kind of go into their shell a bit. They start playing tight close football, and that's not their style. The way that they win big games and score lots of points is when they spread the ball, offload here, give it to Reece Walsh all the time, see what he can do. Kick early, 40-20s, chip and chases, spread it in their own half. That's the kind of football that they're used to. That's the kind of football they respond to, and that's how they win the games. If they don't play like that, then I can see Canberra winning and just playing the way that Canberra wants to play and just keeping Brisbane just in their own half, bad field position. Ricky will have them ready. So I'm going to go Canberra in what could be a little bit of a blowout if Brisbane don't play their usual style of football. So that's going to be my tips. We've got Melbourne, Penrith, Cronulla, and Raiders. Oh, I'm getting excited thinking about watching these games because they're going to be so good and there's so much on the line for a lot of these players and a lot of these teams and clubs. Oh, finals football. Does it get much better than September football? I don't think it does. But that's going to wrap it up. I appreciate you tuning in. There's plenty of options out there, so we are grateful for your attention and your time. If you enjoyed this episode, go through the rest of them if you would like to, or just hang around. There'll be more out soon. We'll definitely be reviewing week 1 of the finals and then what those results then mean for week 2, the semis. Until then, enjoy your weekend of football. No matter what you're doing, whether you're watching or not, doing whatever, enjoy it with whoever or by yourself. See you later.